So some parents are not happy with their studio choices for costumes. So let's find out. So hey, welcome back to my channel. So today we're gonna talk about costumes. So this story was posted on Reddit for our competition dance talk. I'm just curious what others' thoughts on this subject. My daughter has been in dance 8 years, competing 1 year. This year, for camp and recital, some of the outfits were not appropriate we've seen.
What?
Okay, bralettes, studded briefs, fishnet stockings, and some bikini style ones. We haven't personally got a costume like that yet, but moving forward, I am not sure what to do. This seems like a lot of older girls are in these type of outfits. We've been used to fluffy dresses and basic costumes that don't even show stomach. So I am a bit taken back by seeing what has been approved from camp and recitals. We have lover studio teachers in classes, so I am trying to wrap my head around this moving forward so we can continue dance because I really don't think I would approve of certain outfits like that. Okay, so we have 81 comments and let's see what people have to say. Okay, so Sleepy Millennial 55 says, I would honestly look at other studios if this bothers you. Part of the reason we're the studio we're chosen is because the costumes, dances, and music are always age appropriate. They do wear crop tops, but there is always proper coverage everywhere else. There are also never any dances to songs with widely suggestive and or inappropriate lyrics. Our team, our comp team dances are still competitive and plays well, so it can't be done. Okay, so yeah, I have to agree with this. There has been so many studios they really use very suggestive costumes, um, but in a specific genres of dance, more like a jazz or but more like it's more like a jazz lyrical probably. So yeah, I've noticed that too, and I have had many parents actually comment about that and how uncomfortable they feel watching certain studios dance. Actually, the studio that my daughter dances at, they have certain rules. They all dance with tights. Even if they use fishnets, they have to wear skin color tights, and then on top of the skin color tights, they put the fishnets. Now underneath, there's like that feeling of more coverage. And also, like, there are some studios where they don't let kids um, use underwear. So I recall in one of the studios that my daughter danced before, she was not allowed to wear underwear, and I was mortified. It was obviously there is certain things like skin color, make sure it doesn't show in your costume. I mean, I did ballet, so with the tutus um, and long tutus, you don't really see the underwear. Um, but if you're wearing like a very tight bodysuit, then yes, you might see the edges of the underwear, and I guess the teachers don't like this. But let's just see what else people have to say about this. This person says, I agree with this. Find a studio that matches what you hope to see in costumes. I love my studio choices, age appropriate costumes, and we will not go to certain cities or camps that have bikini top costumes. Okay, so even the director of this studio where this person is going, they even like research who's going to the competition to avoid the parents or their clients to feel uncomfortable. Let's see. I saw a video on Instagram of a below 15 team wearing a costume which was frankly inspired from lingerie. Lingerie. I'm not saying. I don't know if I'm saying it right, but lingerie. Especially BDSM style. Yes, the kids were wearing garter belts inspired pieces. Costumes are out of control. It didn't help that it was dark themed. And the facials were not smiling facials, but the intense no smile one that's border on seductive. Yeah. So yes, there is like one thing is a serious or scary theme dance compared to a like some sass, like compared to like a seductive. And then 15, I don't know. I think that you can do a lot of dances being very creative without the need to that. My background is ballet. I was not allowed to do jazz when I was growing up because of that. And especially like my background, I'm from originally from Mexico. So this type of like dancing is just not in their culture. It's not accepted very well. Yep. There's another person says, yes, I was 5 in the early 2000s, dressed in studded brief, fishnets, and studded sports bra, and gloves, literally twerking with sorry, with my butt to the audience. As a teacher now, I cannot understand how an entire group of parents just accept it, or how that piece specifically won a lot. So, taking that comment, yes, I'm in both sides. The teacher chooses the costume goes to the director approves, but it doesn't go through the parents. The parents don't approve the costume. They don't have anything to do with the costume unless they like accept paying for the costume. Actually, some studios do let the parents help or with the costumes, but it's very rare when some of the parents have any involvement into in the purchase of the costume and actually choosing the costume. But that's rare. So I do any studio where the parents have a say about the costume. It's the teacher's choice, approved by the director. So at least there's two sets of eyes in there who look at the costume and say, yes, this is appropriate. So who is to blame? I think in this case is um, the people who approve these costumes for 12 years old or a lot. The other thing that I was gonna say, that yes, it's so weird, but some of these pieces that they're like so provocative, or the facials are so sexy and stuff, and technique wise, maybe it's not as strong, but still they win because there's this pieces win because they have like that presentation or the vibe, or because they're very intense. But necessarily, are they strong technicality? Or no, not always. They're not always strong, and they have a lot of yeah, I would totally um say talk to the owner of the studio and make sure that you like really make sure that they know why you want to leave. There's another person saying there's a studio near me that wears garter belts with almost every costume. They dance up and down props like they're poles and constantly win. So this is a funny story because yeah, that happened in one of the competitions last year that my daughter participated. It was like they were against the other team and their dance was very too much. I'm just gonna say, and they won. But technically, do they do like more turns? Do they do more? Formations that they were clean, like technicality. I'm just talking about the technicality. It was not as strong as our team, in my opinion. Again, it's just my opinion. Then I went into the website to look at the judges, and one of the judges is in the on their Instagram. She is a burlesque dancer, which I have friends who love burlesque, but in this case, that was the preference of the judge. And I feel like for a kids competition, if you're under 18, I think it should be a little bit different the way that they see the competitions. And actually, in some competitions, they have a specific, actually, that was a competition this past weekend. They have a part where they mark if the choreography and the costume and the music are age appropriate. So that means that if the judges consider that that is not age appropriate, they can take points out of the dance because they consider it's not appropriate. So, yeah, I also know another dance teacher. who's also a judge, and she has written notes specifically to the teachers and the owner of the studio when there has been an incident where the dance is really out of line, not appropriate at all for the student. So yeah, so let's see. So from the 81 comments, I haven't seen any like person yet that it's okay with this. In my experience, it's usually a studio thing. In most places, every costume needs to be approved by someone, either SO, I don't know what's that, or directors. So there is usually a vibe or line of appropriateness or lack thereof they are upholding. So if you're seeing this now with other groups, I would expect your kid will be at some point as well. It makes sense. Yeah. So move studios if you feel like it's not something you're comfortable with, call around and have that conversation with the new SO before you commit. Okay. Another person says there are plenty of costumes available out there that are age appropriate for every single style, genre. If this is something that is important to you, there is a studio who values it as well. You see what you will be getting into, and if you don't want it, go somewhere else. So yeah, I agree. You can go and find another studio. Now, how do you find another studio? Because you don't always get the opportunity to see their dances, and you don't know the costume choices like right away when you see the studio. So either you can ask somebody like a mom, a recommendation from a mom, or also I'm thinking like checking Instagram to see the studios post. They usually post their dances or the competition dances or something that you can kind of like get a glimpse of this style of costumes. I think parents, teachers, competitions, they have the responsibility to protect students, to protect our kids. And this is just an example of how much we have let this go around. And I would like to hear your opinion. I want to see, comment below. Do you love the costumes in your studio? Or you don't as a parent? Have you done anything? Have you said anything about this? As a dance teacher, what are your thoughts about this? And I actually was so happy to record this video because I think that as a parent and as a teacher, I would like to see that change in the future. So kids are dressed better on stage, that we actually see their technique. And the songs, there's thousands of songs. And I think we need to do a little bit more research before we choose a song. So yeah, that's my take on this for now. And okay, so we'll see what people have to say. So comment below. And if you want more videos like this, please hit the subscribe button. It's for free. And we can grow this community so I can keep bringing more videos like this for you. And adios.